Hello students, hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to start with our chapter number 10 of history, that is colonialism and urban change. In this chapter we will be getting to know more about it, what are the towns and what towns took place and what towns got originated and who were the ones who actually had their hands on keeping things more kind of powerful and giving designs and architecture to what kind of monuments that we have now. De-urbanization under the British. We have already studied how the Industrial Revolution in Europe led to the Indian markets being flooded with factory made manufactured goods from England. Here in the first paragraph, they're trying to know and trying to depict that yes, they have already imparted the education of that how Britain actually came forward to import and export their goods to the Indian market, and indigenous Asia artisans and craftsmen were not able to compete with these cheap products. As a result, they faced stagnation and were forced to give up their sources of livelihood and go back to agriculture. Means the people who were involved into cloth making, who were involved into industry, and who were involved into all these kind of potteries and all, they just got forced because there was no other employment mode left, because Britain was playing a very tactical role by importing all these kind of exporting materials so that they can sell it for their own beneficial purpose. And the person of Indians were not even able to get or sell anything. In that case, they just got forced back so as to move back to the mode of agriculture so as to get meaning and like meal of two times. So the once thriving manufacturing and trading centers declined. Dhaka, present day Dhaka, Murshidabad and other centers that were earlier major centers of textiles declined because of Britishers and because of Britain and its industries. So many places got dumped up just because of lack of people, labor, and capital, because people were not able to raise up the investment. Similarly, the old trading centers such as Surat and Masulipatam also declined. However, the colonial rule witnessed the development of new urban centers. They can be categorized into various groups, and Surat and Masulipatam and various other regions got some new regions as well, which can be described by the following phrases. Next, coming our heading is Presidency Towns. Presidency Towns. The British came to India as traders and established their trading posts in Calcutta, present day we call it Kolkata, Madras, present day we call it Chennai, and Bombay, present day we call it Mumbai. Basically, they just came forward and set up their bases in these cities. By the end of the 18th century, these cities developed into important presidency towns. They served as trading centers, administrative centers, and as port cities as well. Presidency means kind of towns which had the kind of more power as compared to other cities, and most of the things kids got done from there as they had made their major offices at these places. There were two distinct parts of these cities: the white towns inhabited by the British and the black towns where the local people lived. Means there were two types of towns: white towns and the black towns. White towns were the towns where only Britishers lived, whereas black towns were the towns where Indian or menial laborers lived. And in 1772, the British made Calcutta their capital, and also in 1772, Kolkata was recognized as a capital made by British. Then comes port towns. Under the British, India became an important exporter of raw materials from being an exporter of finished goods such as textiles. Means it just started exporting its goods instead of materials, because which was a loss to Indian people and its industries. As a result, old trading centers such as Surat and Masulipatam declined, and because of that so many trading centers got declined, and Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta emerged as the new port cities, because we know that yes, they were the most important trading centers by set up by the Britishers. Cotton was exported from Bombay, jute from Calcutta, and indigo from Madras, and these three were the cash crops which used to help which got them a good amount of profit, help them get a good amount of profit. Then comes cantonments. An important feature of new towns and cities that developed under the British were the cantonments or British military settlements, where they lived and got settled. The British soldiers and often their families lived in these cantonments. Many of these cantonments developed into big cities with the schools, marketplaces, churches, and offices. You can also say that yes, this was the kind of area where they actually had all these kind of facilities, And sometimes these cantonments were built adjacent to big cities, means just next to big cities, so that they can have their reviewings from these kind of cities. The Meerut cantonment and Dhanapur near Patna are examples of British cantonments. These are the examples of British cantonments. Next comes students, that is hill stations. Many hill stations developed under the British, both in the northern as well as southern parts of India. The Indian summers were unbearable for the British and they wanted to escape the oppressive summer heat. As we know that yes, they are the white people, so they couldn't afford and they couldn't just bear up the hot summer season. So they just wanted to move to some cold places in India. So they decided to move to hill stations. Buildings in these hill stations are fine specimens of the British architecture. There were churches, a central avenue with the shops on both sides called Mall Road, residential schools, and European clubs. And also, Darjeeling, Nainital, Ooty, Dalhousie, Coonoor, and Shimla were some important hill stations. Shimla eventually became the summer capital of British India. And basically, they just told here about that yes, what were the locations where they got settled, and also they told about this, what were the reasons and what were the regions where they got, and they just developed their mall road and churches and many other places so as to make their capital more refurbished with the things. Next comes administration of the cities, like how they got their cities administered and under whose capitalism. Indian towns and cities traditionally had a compact layout where houses were built close to each other and the entire city area was enclosed with the fort. Matlab, the complete area was arranged in such a sense that they just minimalized all these spaces. There was no wastage of area and the houses were very closely packed. And however, the layout and design of urban areas changed under the British. Means when the Britishers came, it all just got changed. They become bigger in size with huge public spaces such as town halls, gardens, churches, cemeteries, etc. And when Britishers just took their reins in their hand, then in that sense, what actually happened is that they just bifurcated the areas, just got the areas more broadened and widened, and got more area for the people to move from one place to another, and just tried their best to so as to make the area more lookable. In 1687, the oldest municipal corporation in India, the Madras Municipal Corporation, was set up. It was responsible for looking after the roads, sanitation, and healthcare of the people living in the city. 1687 May, the oldest municipal corporation got set up in India, and the Madras Municipal Corporation was set up. And they were responsible for looking after all these kind of things where they can look after roads, sanitation, bridges, healthcare, and many other things that how many people and how they are living in the particular city. Then comes in 1864, the Municipal Improvement Act was passed. By the provision of this act, the district magistrate, that is the DM, became the chairman of the municipality. According to them, the DM became the chairman of the municipality. He was helped by nominated commissioners who could be both British and Indian, and taxes on roads, ferries, and markets were the main sources of income of the municipality. They used to take money and charge money from them. A modern police force was established by the Police Act of 1861. The Inspector General of Police was the head of the police department and he was assisted by the Deputy Inspector General, constables, and various other officials. And they just got more better with their police forces as they just got a new post of the superintendent, and which was assisted by so many other lower police constables and other officers. Next comes our development in infrastructure. Development in infrastructure. The British took several steps to develop the transport and communication network in India. As we all know, like transportation system, telegraph system, porting system, ship system, port, and so many things that they got developed into. This initiative was undertaken by the British to fulfill their own interest, that is, for the smooth functioning of their administrative system. The whole motive was just to make their functioning run more well because they didn't want any kind of hesitation or hassle in between while the work was going on. The Public Works Department was set up by the Lord Dalhousie, which regards and repaired roads and bridges. The repair of Grand Trunk Road was undertaken by them, and he was the one who assisted the labours so as to construct the particular road. Railways were introduced in Indian India by the British under Lord Dalhousie. The first train operated between Mumbai and Thane in 1853. Underline it. Soon, railways connected many cities and became an important means of travel. The first telegraph line was established between Delhi and Agra in 1853. Underline this also. And the telegraph system was extended all over the country. Here they talk about that yes, the train system, the port system, and the telegraph system got connected, and also that the years that they've in which they have mentioned. So please do take care of that and learn that and just go through the particular point. Thank you so much for paying attention, students. I hope the concept was clear. I hope that you all paid attention. And for any kind of query, you can access internet, you can access YouTube videos, and also you can just go through the chapter so that you can have a brief review about what the chapter is about. In case of any other issue, you am very much free so that you can ping me on my MCB application. Till the time, take care, study well, and good luck for your career. Thank you.